Okay, what's up guys? Today we're going to be talking about how you can utilize Facebook to find motivated sellers. Now in this video I'm going to break down a couple of different strategies of how you can use Facebook advertising to find motivated sellers in any area. So whether you're virtual wholesaling, you're wholesaling in your own area, you can utilize the strategy to find motivated sellers that are reaching out to you asking for an offer on your property. Now, before we get started, I put together a guide that shows you this marketing strategy and a couple of other marketing strategies that we recommend. If you go to guide.thewholesaleconnection.com, you'll be able to download the guide that we put together to help you find your first deal in 7 days or less. And if you're already experienced, it is some other tools that you can add to your arsenal to help you find your next deal, your next 10 deals, next 20 deals. So it's our complete system broken down step by step to show you how you can find it. Now let's go ahead and jump into it. So today we're going to be talking how you can utilize Facebook advertising to find motivated sellers. And the way that we do that is we utilize a tool on Facebook called Facebook lead ads. And what those are ads that you'll be able to run in Facebook news feeds that people will be able to fill out their info, fill out their property address, and be able to send you essentially a text message when that lead comes in for people wanting a cash offer on their property. Now, why this is so powerful is because one, it doesn't take a lot of money to run. It doesn't take a lot of tech to set up. It makes you come across as a professional. It's easy for the seller and it communicates like what the benefits of getting a cash offer are for them. And it allows you to communicate with them really fast. So we utilize Facebook lead ads, like I said, for a couple of different reasons. And today I'm going to walk you through how you can actually set up your first lead ads campaign to start getting motivated sellers in any area of the country. So I'm going to walk through what types of objectives to use, how to go through and set it up, types of ad copy you can utilize, types of images, and I'm also going to talk about how you can set up the automation on the back end so when leads come in, you can reach out to them as fast as possible. So stick around, we'll show you exactly how to do that through this video. So the first thing is, in order to run Facebook lead ads, in order to set up these campaigns to find motivated sellers, you need to create a Facebook business page. This Facebook business page is essentially like your website. So if you don't have a website, you're just getting started, don't go out and build a website. You don't need one for this strategy. All you need to do is build a Facebook page. Now, a Facebook page that you want to build is what we call a public figure page. You want to be the figurehead of it. You don't want to build a page that's just like Chris buys houses or John buys houses with, an image you got from Google Photos and you plug that in as your logo. You want to put a picture of your face. I'm going to put some details about you there because what we're doing is we're setting you up to be the authority, being the expert. So that way, when someone wants a cash offer on their property, they're selling their property to someone. They want you want to be able to build this rapport in a digital sense, which is why these are so powerful, because it allows you to do that without having to set up all the technology of building out a website, figuring out what to say on your website, paying a designer to come up with images and logos and all that stuff, or you don't need any of that for this strategy to work, which is why it's so powerful, because you can get into business, you can get into different markets really fast, and you can get really high quality leads. So you want to build a Facebook business page. Once you build a Facebook business page, you want to go set up a Facebook ad account. And the ad account, you want to set up your billing info, you want to set up all those things, so that way we can start to run ads. Now, the nice part about Facebook ads is you can control the budget. So with this strategy, you can start with anywhere from as low as $5 a day, and you can go up to as high as you want. Now, I recommend being somewhere in the $20 to $40 per day range, because what we've seen the cost per lead for this strategy is anywhere from a couple of dollars per lead, and then more competitive areas, it's about $20 per lead. Now, obviously, most of our campaigns, we like to get our cost per lead as low as possible. But if there's tons of competition, tons of people, running campaigns in your area, and you're new to this, you can't expect your cost per lead to be as great as our cost per lead because we've been doing this for years. So once you have your Facebook ad account set up, you want to go and launch your first campaign. And the campaign objective that you'll want to use to make this work is what's called lead generation. So what this tells Facebook is, hey, I'm looking to generate leads using your ad platform. And you want to name your campaign with whatever area you're targeting. And what I would recommend is there's an option there called campaign budgets. So you want to set your campaign budget here and not on the ad set level. And the reasons why you want to do that are some things to help you get a lower cost per lead. I won't go too much of it into this video, but essentially what it's doing is giving Facebook the ability to use their machine learning algorithm to get you the best results. So set your budget on the campaign level. And then once you hit next, you're going to go to what's called the ad set level. So this is where you actually set up all the targeting options. It's where you set where you actually want to run the ads. This is where you set like who you're targeting and different things like this. There's a couple of things here on this page that you'll want to know, that you'll want to set up to make sure that you get, again, the best quality leads and you get the best cost per lead. So on the ad set level, you're going to set things like where do you actually want to target the ads. These ads should be targeted in, popular zip codes. So in the guide that I had mentioned, we talk about how to go through list source and find where the most cash transactions have happened in your area or in other markets you're looking to get into. So go and download the guide. Again, that's guide.thewholesale.connection, and it'll show you how to do this. But essentially, you want to target your marketing to those hot zip codes. There's no point in doing the entire state of Nevada because buyers aren't buying properties all across the state. You want to focus your marketing to these high quality areas because yes, you can generate a lead and get a deal under contract, but if no one wants to buy that property because it's out in Timbuktu, then it's going to be hard for you to move that and actually make some money from it, and it's actually a waste of your time and your efforts. So what you want to do is target your marketing to those popular zip codes. So if you already know what those are, in Facebook you can just go in and type in those specific zip codes or those specific cities and set a radius. So that's an important part. Make sure you target those hot areas. Once you've targeted those areas, because we're running a housing ad, Facebook's actually going to limit some of the options that we have in order to keep you compliant and to keep them from getting sued. They recently got sued for housing ads, so they limit your options when they identify that your ad is going to be about housing. And specifically, we're looking for people that are wanting to sell their house, which technically shouldn't fall under that category, but they just want to cover their assets so that way they're not going to get sued again. So in the options, you won't be able to target specific genders and specific age ranges, so you have to leave those options broad. And you only be able to target specific zip codes, and you may only be able to target certain cities if Facebook changes their stuff. So you want to be able to set those target options for geographics. You want to just leave age ranges, and you want to leave gender open, and then you also just want to put in what language. So obviously English for most people, but if you are bilingual, you're looking for Spanish or different languages, you can plug that in. I recommend just sticking with English. Now the next thing is the interest. Now if you didn't pay attention to anything else in this video, this is the part that you want to pay attention to. So the interest is what you're telling Facebook to put the ad in front of people that are interested in these topics. Now if you don't put these, Facebook's going to show the ad to everyone in that zip code, and that's not what we want. What that's going to do is actually drive up your cost per lead, and you're going to get really low qualified leads. Now the interest is how we get better qualified leads and get our ads in front of people that actually want a cash offer in their property. And there's a couple of options that I recommend. So the first one is you want to target home, like Home Depot, Lowe's, so the home, do-it-yourself home owners. We know that a majority of Home Depot's audience are people that own a home and are doing improvements to their own property. Typically, those people are either trying to do it so they can sell it, they're for sale by owner, they're in a distressed situation, they're trying to do their own work on a property. So targeting Home Depot, targeting Lowe's, targeting Ace Hardware, those are all great targeting options because we're trying to get in front of homeowners. Previously, Facebook let you target people that owned home and you can exclude renters. But again, they got sued, so they took away a lot of those options. So you have to use interest to get in front of those right people. So you want to target those things. And then you also want to target financing options. So you want to target loan mortgage calculators. You want to target places like Zillow, Trulia, Redfin. All of those things help signify that this is a homeowner. Now you will have renters that follow those pages, but most likely homeowners are following those types of pages, and those are signals that Facebook has given us to be able to target those. So you want to select a couple of those. In more advanced trainings, I talk about how you only want to do one interest here and test which one works. Again, because you're just getting started, you don't need to do that. You want to just target a couple of different interests to give you the biggest audience possible in your area, so that way you can get the ad in front of people, get your cost per lead down, and start getting some things really quickly. So from there, once you've set your interest targeting, the next options that you have to select is where do you want to show these ads. And this is where I see a lot of new people get stuck, and this is where you actually want to remove some of these options. Now Facebook's going to say, we recommend you show it on every platform because Zuckerberg wants your money and he wants you to spend more money on ads. So of course he's going to recommend that you put your ads everywhere. What we found is that you actually don't want to put your ads on every single platform. There's actually a couple platforms that we found get you the best cost per lead and then also get you leads really quickly. So those are, we want to change the options from all placements to mobile only. So with Facebook lead forms, because it's auto-filling a lot of info, it's easy to fill out, and the majority of Facebook users are on the mobile, either on the mobile app or using it in the mobile browser or on Instagram. We want to target those people specifically because, again, it's going to drive down our cost per lead. What we've seen across the millions of dollars that we spent in ads is that mobile newsfeed has driven the best cost per conversion, so cost per lead for us, and that's what we target with all of our campaigns. So once you change it to mobile only, you want to get rid of all the placements with the exception of 2 of those. You want to leave newsfeed, so you want to leave newsfeed available, and you want to leave Instagram. You want to leave the Instagram feed available. All the other placements, you can get rid of them. We don't need them. We don't need to target them. So we don't need to do all Facebook pages. We don't need to do their audience network. We don't need to do their watch, their stories, or anything like that. We only want newsfeed on Facebook and newsfeed on Instagram, or the IG feed. Those are going to be our best options to, again, we want to get the best cost per lead so we can get more leads and more motivated sellers. So set those 2 options. Now, once you've set up your ad set settings, we've gone through all of those, the next piece is the ad. So the way that Facebook campaigns work is that it's 3 tiers. So you have your campaign where we set what the objective was. We have our ad set where we set the targeting and the placements of the ad, and the ad level is where we actually create the ad. So the ad level, this is where we're going to put in the images. Typically images I would recommend are property, like brand new properties or a really distressed property. Again, we just want to catch attention, so we want to make sure that it's something that stands out. So that's why distressed properties work, and also brand new properties work as well, because it catches people's eyes. And then also in the copy, we want to point out what the benefits are for the seller. So we don't want to just say, give me a cash offer, like blah, 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 like a bunch of text in that ad. We want to space it out so it's easy to read, again, because it's social media, so you want it to be conversational, so you can utilize things like emojis for bullet points. You can utilize shorter hand grammar. It doesn't need to be MLA, APA style type text, and you definitely don't want a big blocks, a big paragraph of text. You want to break it up so it's easy to read. So what you want to do there is highlight what the benefits are. Get a cash offer in 24 minutes. We have 7-day closings. We buy the property as is. All those different benefits of someone actually selling their property to you. You want to highlight those things in the ad. You want to get an eye-catching image, and then the next piece is there's a little headline below the ad. And typically what you would just want to put there is get a cash offer today. And then there's a little button. You want to test these buttons to see which one works best in your area. What we found is get a quote or learn more are the best 2, but you can test the other options that are there that make sense. So once you set up your ad, the next piece is actually setting up the lead form. So once they click on your ad, Facebook's going to pop up a little form that asks them for details. And in that form, the details that you want them to fill out are obviously name, email, and phone number. We obviously want to make sure we get those, because if not, we can't contact them, we can't reach out to them, and it's pointless to get the lead. The next thing that you want to get is a street address, city, state, and zip code. Now you can exclude state if you want to limit your options. Again, limiting the options or decreasing the number of questions you ask will increase the number of leads you have coming in, but it may also decrease the quality. So that's why I like to ask for those things, because sometimes people have to go in and check and fill those out, and it just gives me a clear picture of what I need. And there's 2 questions that I always recommend you put on these lead ads. One, to keep you compliant, but also to make sure that you're getting quality leads, especially with this space. Because we can't target homeowners, the first question that you want to ask is, do you own the property listed above? Yes or no. So Facebook gives you an option to do a yes or no option. You want to add that in there. So that way when you get the lead, you know if you're working with a renter or you're working with the actual homeowner. So that way you're not wasting your time with a bunch of renters. And if you notice that you're getting a bunch of renters, then you need to change things in your ad or in your targeting, so that way you're getting more homeowners. So that's where the interest piece comes in that we talked about earlier. The next question that you want to ask is, can we send you a text message? And the options that you want to put in there are, yes, you can send me a text, or no, I would prefer a call, or I'd prefer a call. You want to put those in there because when you are getting contact info, you still need what's called explicit agreement or explicit consent to send people text messages. So you want to get that explicit consent where they're saying, yes, send me a text. So that way you're compliant. So if you ever have to text someone and they say, I'm on the do not call list, why did you send me a text or call me? You can show them that they gave explicit consent to send them a text message or to give them a phone call. And the reason why you want to select those 2, because either you're going to give them a phone call if they say, no, don't send me a text, or you can send them a text right away. And that way you're compliant on both sides. You get explicit consent, keeps you safe, and it also makes sure that the people that are filling out the form know that you're actually going to reach out to them. Sometimes people forget that they fill out these lead forms, or they think they're just going to get an email. People are just going to send them a check in the mail. You want to make sure that they know that you're actually going to reach out to them and communicate with them. So you want to make sure you add those two things in, and then just follow the steps that Facebook has for you to set up the rest of the form. On the thank you page, the thank you piece of it, what I'd always recommend doing is just saying something like step 2 of 3. And then in the text, the reason why you want to do 2 of 3 is to let them know that the process isn't complete. What I would put in the text is, hey, we need to reach out to you to find out some more information about your property so we can get you the best offer for your property. And you can add in your phone number for them to call if you want them to call you directly. I'd recommend using a Google Voice or a call rail number, or you can just have it go directly to your website if you have a website. Or you can just have them go back to Facebook if you don't have a website. But you just want to let them know that their quote for their property isn't completed yet, and that you need to reach out and get some more info. Because you want to find out things about, like, what's the condition of the property, what's the AC unit like, what's the roof like, all the things that you want to figure out to actually give them an offer on their property. You want to let them know that there's still some more stuff that you need from them to complete their quote on their property. And by doing that, again, it's just being upfront and letting them know, hey, there's still more stuff that I need. I have to reach out to you and actually to give you a best price for your property. So by doing that, you can position yourself in a way that when you call them or they call you, if you put your phone number on that thank you page, that you're in a position of authority. So that way you can negotiate the price that you actually want to pay for the property, so you can get larger spreads on these deals. So now once you have all that set up, what Facebook's going to do is once you publish it running your budget, Facebook's going to start showing that to people in the area, to the interest that you set up, show the images and everything that you set up, and people are going to start filling out that form. The problem with just leaving it where it is that Facebook is just going to collect those in a spreadsheet. And unless you're in there refreshing and checking every single day, you're not going to see those leads coming in. You're not even going to know that they're happening. Facebook doesn't tell you, hey, someone filled out your lead form. You need to set up some automation on the back end so that way you get a text message when these leads come in. So you want to go to Zapier.com. I'll link it down below. And in Zapier, you want to set up a Zap that goes from Facebook lead ads to SMS by Zapier. And Zapier can walk you through this process. It's super easy, but essentially you connect it to your Facebook page, connect it to your Facebook account, and you connect it to that lead form that you just built. And what will happen is as soon as a lead comes in, it'll send you a text message, and you can configure what that message says with all the details that they filled out on the form. So that way when they get when you get a lead in, it sends you a text message. And what you should be doing as soon as that comes in, as long as you're awake, if you get leads that are coming in the middle of the night, as soon as you see that lead come in, send them a text message, or if it says that they prefer a phone call, give them a phone call within the first 15 minutes. Because if you miss that window, your chances of connecting with them have significantly decreased. Your chances have significantly decreased at connecting with that lead and converting it into a deal for you. So as soon as it comes in, send them a text message. Hey, thanks for filling out the form. I have a couple of questions about your property. Do you still live at the property that you had mentioned? So that way, again, you're just fostering the conversation. It's called a grease the wheel question. And then from there, you want to move it to a call as soon as possible. You don't want to try and give someone an offer or ask questions via text message. It doesn't come across good, and it's hard for you to negotiate. So get them on the phone, ask the questions that you need to qualify them, and then figure out what offer you can actually give them on the property, lock it up, put it under contract, and then work on dispositioning it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that process. I know it was a lot of stuff. Again, we put together a guide. If you go to guide.thewholesaleconnection.com, it's linked down below. It'll show you how to go through this process and set this up. And I'll also link in the video where I actually walk you through step by step how to set up and launch your ad. It's a pretty long video, but it shows you every single step throughout the process, show you how you actually can launch your ad. So again, I'll link that down below. And if you're new here, this is your first video that you're watching, make sure you hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so that way you get notified when new videos drop. And excited to see you around. And if you're returning, down below in the comments, let me know if you've used Facebook ads to find motivated sellers yet and what your success has been. I want to help you guys out, and if you have questions, make sure you comment down below. And again, if you're new, make sure you hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video.